Hello and welcome back to Beach Bumbling. I'd like to thank everybody who subscribed. We hit 100 subscribers today, which probably doesn't sound like a lot in the big scheme of the YouTube world, but we both work full time, so we're not able to crank these things out as fast as we'd like to. We're sitting on a ton of footage right now. We just, between my crappy laptop not cooperating and just the full-time jobs, it's difficult to get it all out. But we're working on it. We're going to try to crank some out quickly in the next couple weeks before we head off back to Mexico. So again, if you subscribe, thanks a lot. It does mean a lot to us. So please like, subscribe, comment. You can follow us on Beach Bumbling on Facebook or Instagram, and you can email us any questions you have to beachbumbling2@gmail.com. So let's get to doing some beach bumbling. This was shot right outside of Casa Del Puerto, the hotel we stayed at outside of Puerto Morelos. And keep in mind this was shot around Valentine's Day. So here we are headed down to the beach. We hope you enjoyed the video and found it useful. If you walk past the pool, you'll see this entrance to the beach. If you keep heading that direction, you're going to end up at Puerto Morelos in just a little over an hour. And if you go back in the opposite direction, you're going to be headed towards Cancun. Where do you want to go?
Okay.
Let's go this way, towards Dreams. This way? All right. Woo! That is chilly. Yeah, I don't think there's any way you were going to get me in the snorkel this morning anyway.
Oh, look at all these little babies.
Running back. That is cold. Look at them all. A ton of them. You know? There is a lot of garbage over here.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
Yeah, nobody to take care of it. Sargassum everywhere. Human crap everywhere. There's a random crock. Everybody's missing a brew crock. You know where to find it. Not sure what this place is. Somebody needs, like I said, someone needs to take this shit and make fuel out of it or something.
Are you recording?
Yeah. I realized I just said it again. Somebody needs to take this stuff and make fuel out of it. Or something. It's an endless supply of it. Figure it out with the scientists on it. Doesn't feel squishy at all, eh? It's kind of hard. Etc, etc, etc. Goes on like this for a while. So we put the camera away and walked back towards Puerto Morelos, past a hotel we were staying at, and to the beginning of the beach at the Ocean Corral Turquesa resort. So now you get to see what that looks like. When we started filming, we were on the Puerto Morelos side of our hotel on the beach. So we're walking towards our hotel. So you just kind of get an idea what that section of the beach looks like, and I'll show it on a map as well. Coming up in our next video, we'll have some footage from KM Life's Good's channel. Keith's agreed to give me some footage so I can compare what it looks like current day now back to the time that we were there, just so it doesn't deter anyone from booking a vacation down here, because sargassum is not quite the problem it was back when we were there in February. But it will get bad again sometime, and now you know what it looks like. The ocean by H10 looks like a decent resort. You notice the big difference along here is that the sargassum's just got the fresh stuff, and all the black stuff is gone, compared to places that aren't big resorts. Obviously it costs money to move that stuff. You can see on the map it's about an hour into Puerto Morelos from Casa Del Puerto, and this is zoomed in, showing you how the beach walk is broken into part 1 and part 2. What do you feel like for lunch today?
Something cheap.
Something cheap?
Bologna and slide maybe.
Alright. I'm down for that. Quick correction there, this is actually called the Ocean Corral and Turquesa Resort. It's got 591 rooms, 4 pools, 11 restaurants, and 7 bars. So it's pretty big. It took us at least 5 minutes to walk in front of it on the beach. So, but just know if you do book this, it's a little ways into town. If you want to walk, it's at least an hour. And it's a short cab ride or a short car ride in, but it doesn't walk into town. Looks nice though, I've never been there. It's not too far down the beach from where we were staying. Like, it's almost next door. If you happen to catch our last video on Casa del Puerto, you'll see the entrance to this resort was side by side with the arches that we drove through to get to the hotel we stayed at. It was the one with the controlled entrance. Something else to consider is that if you're watching videos on YouTube and you see the beaches are like clear of sargassum, or it's got a lot of sargassum, it's important to try to understand when that was in relationship to when you want to go. That way you can have realistic expectations when you get there. We hadn't been here in about a decade. We were really surprised at some of the development in town. It looked a lot different than it did a decade ago. But we're really happy to get back to this area. We wish we would have had a couple more days to spend here. But we had other plans, which you'll see in the upcoming videos. But it is a nice place. I do like the vibe in this town. It's a small fishing village, for those who don't know. Or it used to be a small fishing village. It's getting bigger all the time. And then there's a colonial side too on the other side of the highway that we didn't get to spend a lot of time in, that I would, when we do go back someday, I'd like to spend some time over there. But as you can see, the Ocean Corral Turquesa is a sprawling resort. It seems to go on for a really long time. Looks like they have plenty of palapas and lounge chairs for everybody at that resort. And there's volleyball there, it looks like, obviously, and some hobby cats. So, and it looks like it's divided into 3 or 4 major sections too. So, when they say 4 pools, that's probably why, 1 per section. Other than this resort, there's not a whole lot going on in this area on the beach, to be honest. You'll have some Airbnbs scattered in along the way, which you'll see a little bit later, and some small hotels. But if you're looking for some things to do and like restaurants and stuff like this, you probably don't want to stay around in this area. If you want the hustle and bustle and the street vendors and things like that, then you're going to want to stay right in the town, or as close to the town where you can probably walk into it. 30-minute walk's probably not out of the question. There's lots of resort options if you stay within 30 minutes of the town. You can walk in and cab back. Wouldn't break the bank that way either. But like I said, there's not a whole lot of things to do. This resort looks like it's got some options. But if you're staying in an Airbnb, just know that if you're there to read a book and just listen to the oceans, it's probably a great location. Like I said, though, if you're looking for a little bit more interesting things to do and to walk around in town and mingle with some people and some locals, then you're going to want to go into town. It really depends what you're looking for in a vacation, I guess.
And if we're going to Puerto Morelos, we just honestly sit around the beach. Like if we're going to get lunch on the beach and get a spot, like.
That's a great idea, and that's exactly what we did. So we'll share where we went, how much it cost, and what we got for that. That'll be coming up in our next video. It's a place that both Karen and I really liked, and we think you'll like it too. Really like the vibe. If you end up booking an all-inclusive in this area, there's one thing we do recommend, and that is to get off your resort, even if it's only for a day. Get around, see what's close, go into some of the small towns, meet with some of the locals, buy some stuff from the small shops. If people have told you that Mexico's not safe, Puerto Morelos is safe. We didn't feel nervous there at all. We didn't feel nervous there 10 years ago when we were there. It's a pretty safe place to be. I'm not saying there's zero crime there, but I live near a small city of about 45,000 people, and there's crime there just as much as there is in Puerto Morelos, if not more. So you got to keep that in perspective. Something else you won't see, at least a lot of, are local vendors walking up and down the beach selling items in this area. If you go to town, you can buy things like fruit, hats, blankets, you name it, drinks, from people just walking up and down the beach. That's how they make their living. If you're into watching the sun plop right into the water at sunset, unfortunately you're on the wrong side of Mexico. But you are going to see some beautiful sunrises if you can get up for those. Then you can record that on your phone and play it backwards. Then you got your sunset. Wah, wah, wah. Not knowing any more about the resort to the left, it looks like it's taken care of pretty well. It looks like it's very well maintained. Clapas are in good shape. The loungers seem to be in good shape. Everybody seems to be having a good time. Long beach. This has been over 6 minutes now we've been walking. Up ahead you're going to see a blue sign. That's for a massage tent. We'll share the prices there, and we'll kind of give you an idea what you would pay for other places in Mexico for the same service. Any prices on that sign? No. Oh, that wasn't out there on the way by, was it? No. We accept credit cards for a $5 5% fee. Scheduled from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Same price, $45 US for half hour.
40 US for half hour.
40. No, it says 45.
I saw
the Swedish. That's way too much money for a massage.
That's more than we pay in Canada.
When we were at Ixtapa, I think it was $20 an hour, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, that's highway robbery. They need a bingo game here that we can win a massage like in Costa Rica. That was the bomb. As you can probably tell by looking at the Sargassum on the beach, we're off the resort property now. So this is all back to being private. You notice the big difference. For those of you keeping score, that was about a 9 to 10 minute walk just in front of that resort down the beach, so that should give you a good idea of the scale of that property. Something we didn't see a whole lot of around here were boats. If you want to go fishing or take a boat ride somewhere, you're going to have to go into Puerto Morelos to the dock and to leave from there. I hadn't seen any boats dock right up into a beach. Not saying it doesn't happen, just saying I didn't see it. Coming back up to our place. That stairwell there, that's us. Coming up on the left, next to those two cement pillars, you're going to see the stairwell up to Casa Del Puerto. That's where we stayed for the night. Our last video was on this hotel, and it was under $100 Canadian, which is pretty cheap. So if you want to check that out, we'll link it at the end of this video, and we'll leave the hotel information in the description. If you're somebody that doesn't like big resorts and likes something a little bit smaller, this is probably something you would like to look at. So that'll be the end of this video. Coming up next, we're going to be in town in Puerto Morelos. We're going to get some things to eat. We'll show you what we had. It's delicious. We went to a beach club for the afternoon. Saw some local vendors on the beach. Watched a little bit of live music, and hopefully you'll tune into that. So until next time, cheers.